Carbon footprint versus carbon handprint. In the quiet hum of a bustling manufacturing facility, the air carries a weight of responsibility, a palpable reminder of the choices made within its walls. Here, the distinction between direct and indirect emissions becomes not just an academic concept, but a living reality that shapes the industry's environmental footprint. Direct emissions are those that emerge directly from the facility's operations. Think of the smoke curling from a factory chimney, the roar of machines powered by fossil fuels, or the exhaust fumes from delivery trucks idling outside. These emissions are tangible, immediate, and, in many ways, easier to pinpoint. They are the direct result of decisions made on-site, from the fuels chosen to the technologies employed. Yet, just beyond the factory gates lies a more elusive category of emissions: indirect emissions. These emissions are often overlooked, yet they play a critical role in understanding the full environmental impact of an organization. Indirect emissions stem from activities that occur outside the immediate operational sphere, such as the electricity consumed from the grid, which may be generated by a distant power plant burning coal or natural gas. When the factory lights flicker on, the energy that powers them might have traveled hundreds of miles, carrying with it the emissions associated with its production. This distinction is crucial as it highlights the interconnectedness of modern industrial operations and the broader energy ecosystem. Understanding the difference between direct and indirect emissions is essential for allocating responsibility and fostering accountability throughout value chains. When organizations recognize that their operational choices have ramifications that extend far beyond their premises, they can begin to take a more holistic approach to sustainability. For example, a company might invest in energy-efficient machinery that reduces direct emissions, but if the electricity it relies on is generated from fossil fuels, the indirect emissions could still undermine its efforts. This realization can drive organizations to seek out renewable energy sources, thereby reducing their indirect emissions and enhancing their overall environmental performance. The sources of emissions are diverse and complex. Direct emissions can arise from a multitude of activities: the combustion of fuels for heating, the operation of machinery, and even the waste generated during production processes. Each of these activities contributes to the factory's carbon footprint in measurable ways. On the other hand, indirect emissions can be traced back to various points in the supply chain, from the extraction of raw materials to the transportation of goods. This web of emissions underscores the importance of a comprehensive emissions inventory, where organizations track not only their direct emissions, but also the indirect emissions associated with their activities. As organizations strive to mitigate their environmental impact, a clearer understanding of emissions is imperative. By delineating direct and indirect emissions, companies can identify key areas for improvement and set more accurate sustainability targets. For instance, a food processing plant might find that while its direct emissions are relatively low, the indirect emissions from its supply chain, such as the agricultural practices used to grow its ingredients, are significant. This insight could lead to initiatives aimed at supporting sustainable farming practices, thereby reducing the emissions associated with its supply chain. Ultimately, the journey toward sustainability is a collective effort that requires transparency and collaboration across all levels of the value chain. Organizations must engage with suppliers, consumers, and stakeholders to share knowledge and best practices, fostering a culture of accountability that transcends direct operations. By acknowledging the complexities of emissions and taking proactive steps to address them, businesses can not only reduce their environmental impact, but also inspire others within their industries to do the same. In this era of increasing environmental awareness, understanding the distinction between direct and indirect emissions is not merely a technical exercise. It is a vital component of responsible business practices. As companies navigate the path towards sustainability, they must embrace this knowledge, ensuring that every decision made within their walls resonates beyond them, contributing to a greener future for all. Thank you for watching this episode of the Ecopoly Carbon Accounting Masterclass. Every number we track, every footprint we reduce, and every decision we make brings us one step closer to a low-carbon future. Whether you're an individual, a business, or a community leader, your action matters. Stay curious, stay committed, and keep building the world we all deserve. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for the next step in your sustainability journey. This is Ecopoly, decoding the climate economy, one story at a time.